How to shorten your PVC skipping rope. I'm about to show you. Now, when you get your skipping rope out the bag, it's going to come in its full length, so chances are it's going to need adjusting. This will depend on your height, your jumping experience, and your skipping style. I go into more detail about how to get the correct rope length in my video, so make sure you check it out. Today, we're just looking at how to shorten the rope. By now, we know that if you stand on the rope and you hold the handles up, this will give us a clear indication if the rope is too long and it needs shortening. We want these handles to come up around the chest or the armpit area, but again, this will depend on the individual. Now, to shorten the rope, some people in the skipping game will tie a knot in their skipping rope like this. Me personally, I'm not a massive fan because it does damage the rope and ends up getting tangled. So what I like to do is old school, but just a bit of trial and error, where we pull the handle out, then we get these plastic adjustments and then give ourselves maybe 6 to 8 inches on this side, pop that back in. These can be a bit tricky, you might need to use your teeth. Then do the same on this side. Now you'll find that your rope will have this piece of slack at the end. I wouldn't recommend cutting them just yet because you might need to adjust your rope before doing that, and that is too final. So now as I step back and I hold this rope up, you can see that these now come to my armpits, my chest area, and when I do start to skip, it feels a lot more smooth and natural. If you want to make it shorter again, then just pull these out, make it a little bit shorter, like this. As you can see now, I've shortened it again. What you might find is that you start with your rope slightly longer, and then once you start to get a little bit more confident and get better, that you'll be able to adjust your rope to make it shorter again. This will help you pick up the speed and be a lot more stricter with your technique, because if you start to drift your arms out, you're going to mess up. But at first you want to get that balance between it not being too short and not being too long. That's why I recommend keeping the end of your rope until you feel confident enough and happy enough with the size of your rope. And then once you do that, you can then cut the slack off. Just leave yourself an inch or two on each side, just in case you do want to adjust it just slightly. Boom. Once you've cut a little bit of slack off on the end of your rope, you'll notice when you're skipping that the rope feels a lot lighter. But now you've got that correct rope length, you shorten your rope, you'll be able to skip with more confidence, and over time pick up the speed and progress to different types of footwork. What you will find the longer you skip, so you might have a shorter rope where you're looking at being really strict with form, picking up the speed. Then you might have a slightly longer rope where you're practicing different types of footwork and tricks and skills where you want a little bit more wiggle room. Do not stress if your rope is feeling a bit shorter. What I like to do, different ropes, different lengths, all for different jobs. Hope this video helps.